What brings you here?
What were you thinking coming here?
Well, we're at the second half of the last story of Harry Potter. So let's get going with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2.
Do what you have to do.
So we meet back up with Harry at Dobby's grave, where he's playing with that shard of glass that he used to call for help that literally got Dobby killed. But then he realizes it was either him or me. So he just puts a cat turd on Dobby's grave and goes inside to talk to the goblin about why Bellatrix was so upset when she thought they stole the sword of Gryffindor, and he tells him that Snape put a replica in her vault.
There must be a reason.
He also implies she has some other cool shit in there too, and agrees to help them break in if they give him the sword that they need to destroy the Horcruxes.
That doesn't sound good.
What? We can't do that!
Well, it's too bad he doesn't have any liquid luck left.
Holy crap!
Why didn't I see it before?
At the end of Half-Blood Prince, after Harry just used liquid luck to figure out about the Horcruxes, how is this not immediately on his mind? He knows he's about to go on this giant journey to find Horcruxes, and liquid luck is the only reason he knows about them. So going to Slughorn and asking him to make a shit ton of this stuff for you before you go on this journey would be like number one on the list.
The Death Eaters have been trying to recruit me for over a year. Do you know what that's like?
But no, they don't even go back for the potion book with all the cheat sheets in it.
Did you think we were going to be staying in a 5-star hotel, finding a Horcrux every other day?
They then go across the hall to Ollivander, who tells them that Bellatrix's wand is loyal to her and not to use it, but Draco's now belongs to whoever disarmed him, because it's a fickle bitch.
What?
You know those kids that drop you as a friend to hang out with somebody more popular? That's a fickle bitch.
Do what everybody else is doing.
But he asks Ollivander about the Hallows, and he acts like he doesn't really believe in him. But Harry calls bullshit because he saw it in one of Tom's visions.
So no one we can trust.
When they head to Gringotts, Hermione uses Polyjuice to become Bellatrix, Ron wears a fake beard, and Harry gives Griphook a piggyback ride while they hide under the invisible cloak, which Dumbledore never mentioned was one of the Deathly Hallows.
Oh, well, now you know.
People would probably kill for this, and he gave it to an 11-year-old?
Yes, he did.
That is one of my more brilliant ideas.
Stupid Brian.
But he probably thought it didn't matter since people already wanted to kill him. But anyway, they get in, but the guards have been warned that they might try to break in. So Harry casts the Imperious Curse on the bank president, and then no one gives a shit that they're going to do the exact thing security was warned about.
And is that my problem?
Well, it is everybody's problem.
But when they go under a magic waterfall that washes away enchantments, Hermione becomes herself again, which makes the roller coaster boot him off. Then the bank president freaks out, so Ron recasts the unforgivable curse on him.
Now I think it's time for a little magic.
Luckily, they got thrown off right next to the vault they want to get into. There's a dragon guarding it, but the goblins just leave these double cowbells lying around that they use when they beat the dragon, so it cowers when they use them, and they just walk past.
Poor Ron nearly fainted just see them, you know.
Inside the vault, the come here spell won't work, but the spell that multiplies anything you touch does.
Nothing of double.
Harry finds the Horcrux using the Force or some shit, and gets it, but he also drops it, falling over the shit that's multiplying, and Griphook gets it. He wants the sword in exchange for the cup, and when they trade, he grabs his boss, who's the only co-worker that knows he broke in, and they fuck off, even though Ron should be the one controlling him.
Grabbing nipples like this real hard.
But they left the door open for some reason, and Bellatrix's shit starts spilling out down the stairs. And since the bank president is so fucked up, Griphook leaves his ass, and the dragon sets him on fire, and he dies.
Got to have your wits about, yeah.
The kids crawl out to the stairs, but security shows up and immediately opens fire on them. So they jump on the dragon and free it. Then it goes on a killing spree, burning any goblins it sees just because they work there.
Told you not to play around that thing. Didn't I tell you not to play around that thing?
And then it goes out the glass skylight with the children still on its back, but of course, they're perfectly fine.
You can't be serious.
No, really.
Then, when they're worried that when the dragon lands, it might burn or eat them, they jump into a lake. And somehow, this lets Tom know that they broke into the bank and they're also destroying Horcruxes. But because of this, Harry saw where the next one is, and has something to do with Rowena Ravenclaw, and also that it's at Hogwarts.
But even I have to admit, recently I've been thinking we'll have to go there.
They also think that because they're weakening him, that he's becoming more dangerous, so they need to act fast.
If he knows he's getting weaker, why doesn't he just make more Horcruxes?
Shut up! You can't make a copy of a copy. It wouldn't turn out right.
Like coming back without a nose?
Huh. Kinda makes you wonder what Horcrux they used to bring him back in Goblet of Fire. I mean, did somebody break it?
Careful there, it's a limited edition.
Personally, I think you look a bit more devil-may-care this way.
But Tom is weak, but not weak enough to put shoes on when he's walking around a room with a shit ton of broken glass in it. But he is scared enough to ask his emotional support animal to stay close to him. We also see that Griphook didn't make it out, and the sword fucks off from his dead body.
The sword is missing.
The kids teleport to Hogsmeade, where they plan on taking the tunnel into the castle, but they trip the street alarm that was set to detect Harry. and sounds like somebody using a cat as a nunchuck.
That's totally barbaric.
Someone calls him into a house, and it turns out that it's Dumbledore's brother, Aberforth. He's also the one that sent Dobby, because he bought a broken mirror from the dude that stole the locket, and it can see what's going on with the random shard of glass that Harry's been keeping in his sock for some reason.
Why is it always covered in blood?
They ask for his help getting into the school, instead of just trying the tunnel that Harry used to get into the candy store. Then Aberforth tells him that he should just give up, because he shouldn't trust a man that never mentioned he had siblings. He also points out that Dumbledore wanted them to destroy the Horcruxes, but didn't tell them how, or even where to find them.
It's kind of stupid that they're looking for Horcruxes based on dreams and crazy ladies acting weirder than normal.
I realise it's not much to go on.
That's nothing to go on.
Yeah, well, Harry tells Aberforth to go fuck himself for lying down like a bitch, so he tells a painting of his sister to help him.
Help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who deserve it.
She comes back with Neville, who opens a door behind the painting. He tells him that the old tunnels are guarded or destroyed, so the guy who Harry just accused of being a useless coward made a new one so the Order would have a way to talk to Dumbledore's army.
What's left of us, at least.
They sneak into the castle right where the main characters are camping out. The first thing they do is cheer and clap, knowing the current administration is already beating them for not using forbidden curses on the first-year students.
I really hate children.
So who knows what they would do if they found out they were hiding the #1 on the Death Eater's most wanted list.
Chop 'em up and stew 'em.
Harry asks him to help find the Horcrux, even though they don't know what or where it is. They only know it has something to do with Ravenclaw.
But of course you know that, don't you?
Luna's also there, even though yesterday she was a prisoner of the Death Eaters. So hanging out in a place run by Death Eaters isn't very smart. You'd think somebody put in the smart Hogwarts house would know better. But as a Ravenclaw, she has an idea.
Well, there's Rowena Ravenclaw's lost diadem.
And they're like, Jesus Christ, crazy lady. It's not gonna be a prized possession of one of the founders that went missing, just like the other 2 Horcruxes.
That's obvious.
Then Ginny comes in and is happy to see her boyfriend, but not her brother.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
She tells him that Snape knows that he's here, and is calling for an assembly. There, Snape says that he'll punish anyone who helps Harry, so he pops out of the crowd.
It's true then. Harry Potter has come to Hogwarts.
He also has the Order come in with a dramatic entrance.
The order's finished.
So I guess they took back the castle in the 5 sentences he said. Maybe that'll teach him to talk faster and cut back on the dramatic pauses.
People will think you're up to something.
Harry then calls him a two-faced bitch, but when Snape draws on him, McGonagall opens fire on him, which he deflects, but this kills the 2 Death Eaters backing him up, so he fucks off.
You coward, fight back!
Then her first order as headmistress is to turn on the lights, but Tom turns them back off and telepathically tells everyone that they have 1 hour to turn Harry over, and no one will get hurt.
To everyone who does not wish to die a most painful death.
So some chick is like, get him! So McGonagall has Filch lock up all of Slytherin in the dungeon.
There's not a witch or wizard who went bad who wasn't in Slytherin.
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
Gryffindor!
So they call all the kids' parents for backup.
No, they're just gonna have the kids fight.
My father will hear about this.
And some Death Eaters that are attacking the castle might even have kids inside.
I would be a terrible dad.
But they need to use this time to destroy a Horcrux, and because they don't have the sword, and they know he destroyed the diary with a basilisk fang, Ron and Hermione are going to the Chamber of Secrets to get another one. And Harry goes to the Ravenclaw dorm to look for something that's been missing for decades. Luna sees him and goes with him, which is good since he doesn't know the password.
Your password is password? I don't feel good about it either.
Meanwhile, McGonagall tells Neville to blow up the bridge that leads to Hogwarts. Boom! And when he asks how, she tells him to ask Seamus.
Oh, because he keeps blowing himself up?
No. Remember at the World Cup when I said that the Irish really love their stereotypes? Well, blowing shit up is another one.
It's not nice to make fun of a leprechaun.
So he's not going to use magic, but build actual bombs that they can detonate at the right time. Then she animates all the statues to defend them, and is really excited about this, while Molly looks at her like, you always wanted the castle full of children to come under attack? But then everyone comes together to make a force field around the castle.
Dark forces attempt to penetrate this castle.
Luna catches up with Harry, and he tells her to fuck off, but she yells at him and suggests that they ask the ghosts if they know where the tiara went. Rowena's daughter haunts the Ravenclaw Tower, and she knows where it is, but she won't tell. But when Harry says he wants to destroy it, she's like, okay, but tells him a riddle to find it.
So she gave him a Tom riddle. Oh, come on, it's right there.
Anyway, since a bunch of adult wizards and witches have arrived outside the Hogwarts grounds to kill some children, having Luna talk to her would have sped up this process, since they're apparently friends.
Luna is kind, unlike so many of the others.
Let's all throw books at Myrtle because she can't feel it.
Then Ron and Hermione get to the chamber door, and Ron opens it.
Didn't Harry have to use parcel tongue to get in?
Yeah, probably would have been better if he just asked Harry what the password was in parcel tongue, because I wouldn't want the lives of everyone in the castle to rest on my knowledge of a foreign language that I learned entirely by listening to my friend talk in his sleep.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Ron pulls a tooth from the basilisk skull and asks Hermione to destroy the cup with it. But for some reason, this one doesn't put up a fight. But when she does, Tom feels it and causes one of those water walls with your face on it to attack him. And when they survive, they finally have their first kiss. But Harry felt it too.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
The Horcrux being destroyed, not the kiss.
I fear something terrible has happened.
Well, feeling it makes Tom panic, and he blasts the force field. This destroys it, but also cracks the Uber wand. And at the bridge, Neville's regretting talking shit to the army outside the force field, and also standing there like an idiot while the force field was being blasted. So when the head of the Snatchers sees that it's down, he wants to kill Neville himself. So Neville triggers the bombs and hopes he can outrun him, which he almost doesn't.
Why is it always me?
And this near-death experience makes him want to confess his love for Luna, even though the Death Eaters have penetrated the castle.
Well, I guess he wanted to penetrate something too before he died.
Let's have a bit of fun, shall we?
Alright, you redeemed yourself. But Harry and Ginny don't have time to make macaroni noises, because he needs to get to the room of requirement. Unfortunately, Draco broke the Slytherin kids out, and he's going after Harry with Goyle and this kid Blaze.
Where did you come from?
Harry finds the crown immediately by using the Force again, but the Slytherin kids hold him at wand point. Draco wants his wand back because he doesn't like using his mommies, and he couldn't get a new one because they kept attacking the wand makers.
We might not have thought this through.
Harry then rats Draco out as not being totally loyal to Tom, but Hermione sneaks in and does the drop your wand spell on him, so Goyle straight up tries to murder her. Then Ron chases after him, but in the fight, the crown got thrown into a pile of crap, so Harry has to get it. And I'm not sure why they didn't try the come here spell, because it only didn't work in the vault because of the bank's magic restrictions. But he gets it right as Ron runs back being chased by a fire snake. Goyle also can't get his wand to stop, so he makes other fire animals too.
Well, that's just great. Bears.
The Gryffindors run for the exit, while the Slytherin kids try to escape the raging flames by climbing on flammable objects.
It's not going to work.
But Goyle grabs a chair, pulls it loose, and he falls in the fire, and he dies.
I'm gonna miss him.
The Gryffindors found brooms, but can't leave the others, especially Draco, since he had their back last time. So Ron grabs Blaze, and Harry grabs Draco, and they all get out safely. Well, not Goyle, he's dead, but Draco doesn't even stick around to thank him, and fucks off.
Foul and loathsome evil little cockroach!
Then Hermione throws Harry at the fang, and he stabs the tiara. Then Ron kicks it into the fire, and it turns into 3 Tom heads that attack him.
So did they actually kill the Horcrux?
Well, Harry felt it too, so I guess so. But the room closes the door before the triple Toms can get him, so let's hope so. And when a Death Eater asks Tom if he's okay after feeling it, he shoots him, and he dies. Then he takes his emotional support snake and fucks off.
It was foolish of you to come here tonight, Tom.
But Harry now knows that Nagini's the last Horcrux, so they need to find her. So once Harry figures out where Tom is via Force Skype, they run through the battle fairly easily, only stopping to zap a werewolf eating Ron's ex-girlfriend, which luckily he has no reaction to because that could have killed his new relationship before it even started.
I'm always mad at him.
But they do get to see all the creatures that Tom got to fight for him, like the giants and Aragog's kids. So maybe Hagrid wasn't the best choice for creating allegiances.
Do you think it wise to trust Hagrid with something as important as this?
I would trust Hagrid with my life.
They also bump into a shit ton of Dementors, but luckily, Aberforth has an Uber Patronus that blocks them all. So I guess he was just showing up fashionably late.
A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
They get to where Tom's meeting with Snape, and he tells him that his wand has performance issues, and he thinks it's because he didn't earn it.
Try Viagra.
Viagra?
So since Snape killed Dumbledore, he cuts Snape's throat and has Nagini attack him, which would now technically make Nagini the master of the wand.
Something I should have foreseen.
So after they fuck off, Harry runs over to watch him die. And it's a good thing Tom didn't use the killing curse, because Snape can now give them inside information with his tears. And then he dies.
I'm supposed to just let him die.
People die every day.
So because he has control over the Uber Wand, Tom calls all the Death Eaters out of Hogwarts. Then he tells everyone that Harry let a bunch of people die for him because he's a little bitch. And if he doesn't come out and die by morning, they're gonna kill everyone.
Naughty children deserve to be punished.
When they get to the castle, they see that Fred's dead, and also Lupin and Tonks, which is more upsetting when you realize that she was pregnant in the beginning of the last story, and probably just shit out a kid.
He'd have been straight into an orphanage if he'd been dumped on my doorstep.
But Tom's only going to hold his people back for so long, so since time is of the essence, Harry goes to the headmaster's office and looks at Snape's memories. He sees how Snape met his mom the summer they got their Hogwarts letters, but when they got put in separate houses, his dad edged him out.
But he was a bully. Why would she pick him over Snape?
I'm as anatomically impaired as a kendo.
Then, when the prophecy predicted a boy born at the end of July would be the one to take down Tom, Snape asked Dumbledore to protect her family in exchange for a favor, but they trusted Pettigrew and got dead anyway.
And we got landed with you.
So Dumbledore told him that if he really loved Lily, that he should protect Harry because he has her eyes.
The eyes like the sea after a storm.
Which is bullshit because...
Shit, Brown, really?
So when Snape was dying, staring into Harry's eyes and said,
You have your mother's eyes.
He must have forgot what the woman he was obsessed with for the majority of his life looked like.
Who are you?
Lily, for all this time. Always.
I love her, man!
Then when Dumbledore's hand got all fucked up from the Horcrux, he called in his favor, which was to kill him so Tom would know that he was loyal to him.
I was beginning to worry you had lost your way.
Then he made a fake sword of Gryffindor and planted the real one for Harry to find, and cast the Patronus so he would find it.
But why did he put it at the bottom of a lake?
Because Harry's too much like his dad.
A drunk too, no doubt.
So I'm sure he got some kind of enjoyment out of making him do the polar bear challenge.
Obviously.
But since Lily's death, protecting Harry's been his #1 priority, even when he didn't like him.
Snape was trying to save me.
Hell, he was even the one who found him, even though he really didn't give a crap about him in the moment. So when Dumbledore tells him that Harry has to die, he's pissed, because now there won't be anything left of Lily. But Dumbledore tells him that Tom has to be the one to kill him. I don't know why, but it's a really lucky thing that Tom wanted to do that anyway, because he might be unstoppable if Bellatrix had her way.
He belongs to the Dark Lord.
But anyway, Snape had to seem like a Death Eater in every way once Dumbledore died, so he had to be really sneaky, because despite not having a nose, Tom can smell a lie like a fart in a car. But Snape can block him, which is why Dumbledore had him train Harry, and also why he had to do something really evil to show his loyalty. But Dumbledore also told him that when Tom's weak, to tell Harry that he's also a Horcrux.
Oh, is that why it's so hard to kill him?
Maybe.
I'm just saying it could be a contributing factor.
But if he wants to kill Tom, he has to die too, which is not what the prophecy said.
That's not a saying.
For neither can live while the other survives.
That's the opposite of what the saying is.
So Harry says goodbye to his friends and tells them to kill Nagini.
Oh, please. We're supposed to believe that the end of the Harry Potter story won't have Harry Potter in it.
Yeah, that's what they're going with.
So how is he going to get out of it this time?
Oh, so he's walking to go meet up with Tom, and he randomly tells the golden snitch in his pocket that he's ready to die, and it opens, presenting the resurrection stone.
Good thinking, Brian.
Doesn't miss a trick, that man.
Wait. Brian found all 3 Deathly Hallows, and instead of using them to kill Tom, didn't tell anybody about one, and gave the other 2 to Harry at different points without ever telling him what they were? What if he never figured it out?
Maybe his plan was to break all the Horcruxes, ask to borrow the cloak, then, as the Master of Death, sneak into Malfoy Manor and just teabag Tom or something.
You always did have a scrum boy!
But anyway, when Harry touches the stone, his parents, Sirius and Lupin, come to tell him that dying isn't so bad. So he goes to confront Tom, and when he gets there, he doesn't even put up a fight and lets Tom shoot him, and he dies.
Oh, don't worry, he'll be alright.
But he wakes up in a white train station where, under a bench, he finds a dead baby Tom. And then Dumbledore wants to take a walk, where he says that when Tom blasted him, he actually only killed the Horcrux inside him. So now Harry has the option to either stay dead or wake up.
Well, yeah, he has the resurrection stone.
No, he just dropped that useless piece of shit in the woods. But Mrs. Malfoy goes to confirm that he's dead.
Dead.
And Hagrid, who they have hostage and is being held with ropes instead of magic for some reason, is really sad.
Oh, for God's sake, pull yourself together, man.
And they make him carry Harry's dead body back to the castle. And all the Death Eaters follow so they can see the look on everyone's faces when they see his lifeless corpse. And Ginny is devastated compared to how she reacted when her brother died.
She got lots of those though. She's only one, Harry.
Only we get to and they can't, because it's illegal. I looked it up.
But Tom can't just have that. He has to gloat about killing a teenager, and all of his followers are like, yes, you're a big man with a huge penis for being the most powerful wizard that finally killed the infant that got you killed all those years ago.
You're gonna have a lot of professional tough guys pissing in their pants.
Tom also wants them to swear allegiance to him, or die. And most people are choosing death. The Malfoys even have to convince Draco to come over. But he and Tom hug it out, so they're cool.
I will do whatever you ask.
Then Neville limps over, carrying the Sorting Hat, and they all laugh. Even though his parents were powerful enough Aurors to warrant Bellatrix torturing them into comas. But he gives an inspirational speech about not giving a shit that Harry's dead. And then he pulls out the Sword of Gryffindor from the hat.
And how is it that you just happen to have the Sword of Gryffindor?
I'll fight you.
Harry also pulled his sneaky and was just playing possum.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Bit of a nasty shock for him when he found out.
I thought you said Tom could smell a lie like a fart in the car.
Well, he can, but he must have been off his game after getting knocked on his ass destroying his own Horcrux.
I bet that cleared your sinuses, eh?
So Tom shoots at Harry, but a bunch of his followers fuck off, including the Malfoys.
Faithfulness he talked of, your enduring faithfulness.
Then Neville goes after Nagini, but Tom knocks him the fuck out, so Harry lures him into the castle to fight. Tom tries to use Nagini to kill him, but Harry sees this as a chance to kill her. Unfortunately, he drops the basilisk fang that Hermione gave him to kill the tiara, and Tom fries it. So Hermione gets Nagini's attention with stones for some reason instead of using a spell. But she's actually using herself as bait so Ron can sneak up on Nagini. And when she notices, she lunges at him, and he stupidly loses the only thing they have to kill her with. Because no one thought to grab the sword after Neville got knocked on his ass.
I'm hopeless.
But Harry goes to a room where Tom ties him up with some scarves, and not in the fun way.
I found that rather enjoyable. Speak for yourself.
Molly also tightens Bellatrix's corset so tight that she explodes. And she dies. But while this was happening, Tom stupidly untied Harry, who grabs a hold of him and jumps off a ledge. But they just fly around a bit until they end up back in the courtyard. Then they both go for their wands and have a we have equal powers fight.
But Tom has the Uber wand.
True, but he's not the master. See, Snape may have killed Dumbledore, but Draco was the one who disarmed him. He became the master and never even knew it. So when Harry disarmed him of his other wand at his house, Uberwand somehow knew this and switched to be Harry's wand.
Whoa. What? No, he took it? He just took it?
So Harry's the master of the Uber wand, and now it won't kill him, but it still will attack him.
The most powerful wand in the world is a fickle bitch?
Yeah, and Harry's real lucky the Uber wand only counts wands being lost, because if it counted anything else, Tom would be its master.
He got it on a technicality.
But Ron and Hermione are about to get attacked by Nagini, because they don't have their fangs anymore, and it's easier for them to just die.
Why don't they just hit it with the killing curse? It worked on Harry's Horcrux. Wait, when Fawkes saved Harry in the Chamber of Secrets, did he really just save the Horcrux?
It's complicated.
Well, that doesn't matter, because Neville woke up, grabbed the sword, healed his limp, and ran over to kill Nagini at the last second. And Tom felt it the second his anaconda got cut in half because he stops fighting. So Harry knows what's up, and he now has the opportunity to avenge his parents and all the other people who died along the way. And also get payback for having him raised in the child abuse house. So what do you think he does?
He's already done the other two unforgivable curses. Now he's finally gonna do the killing curse.
No, he's just gonna do the drop your wand spell again. But this time, it works. And Tom gets dusted away, like Thanos just snapped. And the Uber wand flies to Harry.
Daddy's back.
So is he really dead?
Well, he vanished like he did before. But he has murdered lately, so he could have created a new Horcrux when he did. I guess it really depends on whether the writer needs more money down the road.
Celebrity is as celebrity does.
Anyway, not wanting anyone to have that kind of power again, Harry breaks the Uber wand and throws it off the bridge. Even though he could have just gone back to the woods, got the stone, and became the master of death. But instead, he marries Ginny, and 19 years later, they and Ron and Hermione's kids are going to Hogwarts.
Did you and Ginny do it then? How was it?
And this is where we see that he named his kid after Snape and Dumbledore.
Albus Severus Potter.
What the hell? Why not Hagrid and McGonagall? They were always there for him.
Yeah, but they didn't die. Plus, Rubius Minerva sounds like something you would get from not wearing a condom.
Puking pastels! Listen up, you lot. Thought you were surprised.
And now is the time to declare yourself. Come forward and join us. Well, I'm sure we can find a place for you in our rank.
You seriously not trying that one again, are you?
I'm sure we'd all be fascinated to hear what you have to say. From this day forth, you put your faith in me.
Students in the corridor! They are supposed to be out of bed, you blithering idiot.